Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, salutations to all the brothers and a few sisters out there, unto the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in Hebrew, which means peace. It's a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Lord, wanting you brothers to be edified. Something that just crossed my mind. I was watching something and it got me thinking about war. And wars, we all know it gets nasty. There's even according to the top countries, they had an agreement. It's called the GIVO. The GIVO agreement, I believe. If I'm saying it wrong, it's like it. Something I just now remembered. Well, it's a code where certain things are supposed to be done in war. How you supposed to conduct yourself, how you not supposed to conduct yourself. All right. Example: if a person gets captured by the enemy, the depending depending on your rank, you will have all you have to do is just tell your rank, and they're not supposed to torture you. I bring this up because the times that we coming in, all those things are going to be thrown out, because the scriptures clearly tells you the time that's coming is never going to be like a time like this ever before. Now there's a lot of laws. Example, what's what I'm looking for? There's a criminal wartime crimes. It's, for example, this guy Boris Johnson had, before all this went down, the lockdown over there, he pleaded a cause to the Parliament that any soldier that did any time overseas, they're not supposed to be judged if they did a horrible crime. Like, they're supposed to be above the law. And I believe that passed. If I'm not mistaken. I did a show on it a couple months ago, and time's going by fast. So basically, he's given his soldiers the right to do whatever. They're exempt for any restrictions of hard labor. Basically, they could do whatever they want, rape, rob, whatever, because it's wartime, and they're not gonna get judged in a military conduct, because you're supposed to carry yourself. Okay, but like I said, this time that's coming, well, all the events is all this codes and conducts and all that is gonna be thrown out the window. It's gonna leave a lot of people homeless, fatherless, motherless, childless. It's going to be nasty out here, because the scripture clearly tells you in Daniel, the 12th chapter, there's going to be a time that has never been before since a nation has been. So many a times we heard about Vietnam and the Korean Wars and World War I, II, all the horrific acts that was being done, and how they had to sit there like, look, once we get to war, you're not supposed to touch a medic. All right, the medics are for both sides is not supposed to be touched. But once again, all these things are going to be thrown out the window in these latter times. Matter of fact, let me start the scripture up. 2 Ezra 8 and 50. I'll start at that one. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. So great miseries is not just talking about financial misery or being just homeless. This is talking about all sorts of things. Imagine you in wartime mode where foreigners are coming, because remember, America never been invaded by a foreign entity. That never happened. All right, that's what is preferred as Babylon, the virgin daughter of Babylon. Anything, a woman when she's a virgin, that means she never had sex. So no foreign anything touched this place. But in these times to come, the way everything's set up, you will have Gurkha troops from other nations. You have the UN and so forth, and what would you call invading America. Prime example is Red Dawn. The 1984 version is way better, but both of them was good. The second one with Thor, first one with Charlie Sheen and Patrick Swayze, and that shows depicted of, I believe it was China, Russia, and Cuba invading America. So it happens that these three nations are allies today. And the second one was, I believe, North Korea, Russia. I think that's it. But it showed you that the invasion that took place in America. So great miseries is coming with, you have people that doesn't speak your tongue, speaking whatever they speak, and they're doing every and anything that they feel like to the people. All right. It says because they have walked in great pride, because the few, the proud, the Marines, nobody can stop the military, democracy. This will never happen. They're so concerned about other nations or what they're doing in their countries and so forth. These are the things that's going to happen. All right, which leads me to this particular scripture I was thinking about. Lamentations. Let me start from this exactly what happened to us. All right, and our people when the time the Babylonians came and invaded Israel. Lamentations 5:3 to the point. We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. So these things happen. Matter of fact, I'm going to start out. Lamentations 5:1. Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Our inheritance is turned to strangers and our houses to aliens, meaning foreigners. All right? Because what happened to us was a foreign invasion. And this is exactly the protocol of what they did unto the nation of Israel. It says, we are orphans, meaning what? Fatherless. Okay? The children became fatherless, motherless. And that's going to be a big thing. You have a lot of people that have a lot of children in America. All right? You have mothers that have countless kids and different baby daddies and so forth. When the Lord brings down his judgment, a lot of those kids they're gonna have no parents if they're slated to survive. Well, slated to survive to the next thing, they might starve to death. However, means the Lord plans to punish. That's not my concern. But there shall be a lot of orphans and a lot of fatherless children out here. All right. It says, and our mothers as widows, we have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us, meaning the things that are part of our land, our cultures, we have to buy it back. All right. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. We have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have bore their iniquities. Because when it all boils down to the time of Jacob's trouble is at hand. All right? Jacob's trouble is not going to be something you just go to sleep and everything, you get up the next morning, everything's going to be all right. Like Nate is found to be a full-blown liar. All brothers, everybody's attacking this guy, but he's a liar. He's the wicked. All right. John 8:44 explains what type of person Nate is, and he fails to understand. If this happened to us when the Babylonians took place, and the Assyrians what they did to us, and so forth, and the Greeks, and the scriptures clearly tells it's going to be worse than those things in these latter times, then if men not telling you that great tribulation is coming, there's a reason why it's called great tribulation, because we don't know how bad it's going to be. With all these laws that was in place, these because if we're in martial law, which is military, we have military law, and they're going to throw all that aside because they're going to consider people domestic terrorists. makes you treason, that means they're gonna do whatever they feel like it because they're not bound by the laws. Okay? And these things will happen. And it says, servants have ruled, there is this point. Servants have ruled over us. There's none that doeth deliver us out of their hand. And who is the servant? Esau, Edom. All right? Our servants is ruling over us. Okay? And what they plan to do to us in these latter times is going to be harsh. Matter of fact, let's go to the next chapter. Ezekiel 21, and I believe it's 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter, meaning it's that damn sharp. All right? Glitter meaning wet or sharpened. Okay? A sharpened sword. So Esau has, I just did a show yesterday. They said that he has a weapon that would change the reality. All right, a weapon that could change reality. That beats me. He probably, it said from the depths of the sea they could shoot to space. That's mind-boggling in itself. There's a reason why the Lord's going to give us spiritual powers, but that's just to the extreme what this man has said he could do. So what are the things we know he can do? Iron Man suits. He have androids. He obviously China, the U.S. All these talking about getting super soldiers. This shit's about to get real. All right, it's about to get real out here. It says, should we make mirth, knowing that all these things is gonna happen? Should we be glad and joyful and worry about businesses and having a good time? I'm gonna enjoy my life, living my best life. Should you be in that mindset? Hell no. Your mind should be in war mode. All right. Matter of fact, let's look at the word mirth. It says shayash, to exalt, rejoice, to exalt, display joy. It says to be bright, that is cheerful, be glad greatly, joy, make mirth, rejoice. So knowing that danger is coming, war is coming, should we enjoy this time? Hell no. All right. Only a fool would think it shit is sweet when war is right at his door. All right. And a lot of these Americans don't know what the hell's going on. A lot of these Americans gave up their rights. They gave up their fight to life, period. It said, contempt of the rod of my son, as every tree, you have given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and is furbished to give into the hand of the slayer. And that slayer is Esau, Edom. Because this is coming, this is the wrath of the Lord that's about to take place. All right? This is not no ordinary anger of Esau, because every time Esau does certain things, he only can go so far. We talking about the wrath of the Lord against his own people. All right? Because that's a main concern. We're not concerned about the other nations. We don't care less. They could be fatherless, all we care. Their children could be orphans. We don't care about. We're just talking about our people, which is gonna tell you, says, cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people, and it shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by the reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh. So it's going to happen to the Lord's people, which are you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Great wars, death, and destruction is coming. Okay? There ain't going to be no law to prevent certain things. Matter of fact, since I'm talking about it, Zechariah 14:2 says, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to the battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses raffled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. So these are the things that's going to happen to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? this was coming, man. Luke 21 and 22, I believe. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. So the time that we're coming, which is going to be, is Jacob's trouble, is the days of vengeance. There's a little bit more on Lamentations. I'm going to get to that. 5 and I believe it's 8, 9. We got our breads with the peril of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness. Our skin was black as an oven because of the terrible famine. They ravished the women in Zion and the maids in the cities of Judah. Princes are hanged up by the hand, and the faces of the elders were not honored. So great death and destruction is coming to the nation of Israel, man. You can't get around it. Jeremiah, I'm gonna end it off on this. 30 and 7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. So you can't compare nothing in history. You can't compare nothing that ever took place. You can't quote the Geneva Code. That's what it was called, the Geneva Code. You can't quote whatever code that they have where, what they call it, the UN. Damn. What's the word looking for? In humanitarian, when they send the peacekeepers, because all these bad things are happening. There's gonna be none of that. Just the same way there was none of those things in slavery. Same thing's gonna happen real soon, because overall, it's because of the pride of these people, pride of the nation of Israel, the 2/3 of them, thinking that nothing could happen to them, and pride of these other nations, because they all going to be affected. Everyone. All right. It says, so that is none like it is even the time of Jacob's trouble. Even meaning equally, this time is bad time that's going to affect everyone. It's at the same time that's going to affect you, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. But he shall be saved out of it. But out of all, there will be an escape route for the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, that would not be affected by these things. The elect, men, women, and children, are going to be saved. They might see certain things, but nothing bad is going to happen to them, because the Lord promised that. So with that being said, I hope you brothers edify. Shalom to the elect of the nation. Shalom.